This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some important updates to share with you. There could be a record high Social Security increase coming in 2023, but there's three things to look out for to determine that number. I'll give you the details on that. Also, we'll talk about the $2,400 boost to Social Security, and President Biden gave a big speech about the Inflation Reduction Act, but it may not have been the best timing. I'll give you the video clip of what he said there. I'll let you know which West Coast states are giving out stimulus checks for the month of September, and $200 gift cards are being sent out to households, to certain Americans, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. So, retirees could soon get their biggest Social Security raise in more than 40 years. The latest estimate is, one of them is going to be 8.7% for 2023, but that is not a definite yet. So we'll go over this article. There could be a record high Social Security cost of living adjustment in 2023, but it's not set in stone. Three things to watch. So the cost of living in 2023 could be 8.7% according to the new estimate by the Senior Citizens League, and an increase would be the biggest, especially compared to last year's at 5.9%. And there still could be one more month before the official adjustment is announced. So it is not official yet. 8.7%. What are your thoughts on that? Good enough? Should it be higher? Is that a good number for you compared to the 5.9%, which it is this year? Let me know your thoughts on that. So the number one thing, it is not definite. So if we look at the Social Security COLA numbers here, you can see 1981, 14.3%. which is really high, then 11%, then 7.4%, and 5.9% is the highest it's been, in a while, even that 2008 recession. So the COLA for 2023 at this point is still an estimate. Mid-October, I think it's October 13th, is when the official amount will be announced. So here are the three things to be aware of when it comes to the new COLA number. September inflation data. So consequently, there is one more month of data to go out before the official calculation is made. How inflation fares in that time will affect the official COLA. So if there is a huge spike in inflation for the next report, then the COLA will be higher. Interest rate hikes is another thing to be aware of. Federal Reserve's interest rate increases may have an impact on September inflation data. In July, the central bank implemented a second consecutive 0.75 percentage point interest rate hike. Another 0.75 percentage point could come later this month. That may very much affect some consumer confidence. That would affect September. And then the third thing, Medicare Part B premiums. To be sure just how much extra money Social Security beneficiaries in their monthly checks next year will also depend on how much Medicare Part B premiums increase. Those premiums are often deducted directly from Social Security checks. So this year, the standard Part B monthly premium is $170. And so those are the three things to be aware of to determine the final price on October 13th. And once it happens on October 13th, it's kind of set in stone, which I think is a little bit of a flaw in the system, because what if inflation spikes really high in December and all throughout 2023, kind of like it did this year? 5.9% was not enough, and Social Security recipients are struggling a lot. Also, this article right here, Social Security payment 2022 direct monthly check worth up to $3,345 to be sent out tomorrow. So I guess it would be sent out today, actually. So if you get your if your birthday falls between the 1st and the 10th, you're getting your Social Security check today, and that 3,000 number is just the maximum that you get, $3,345. So that's just all that article is talking about there. And then Social Security, new bill could give seniors an extra $2,400 a year, that $200 per month increase. So President Biden made a few promises. It was on his campaign website, which he took down, which I cited a lot when it was up. Student loan forgiveness, which he's kind of following through on. It may or may not happen, but also the Social Security boost, $200 per month to every Social Security recipient. For whatever reason, he decided to go for just the student loan forgiveness, but not the Social Security increase. He might pull that out of his sleeve when it comes closer to the presidential election. That's my prediction, but I think it should definitely come sooner. So at this point, the new bill is just kind of wasting away in Congress. And when it comes to President Biden, this is your victory. Biden celebrates Inflation Reduction Act. So President Biden has Biden's victory lap marred by stock slump on inflation fears. So President Biden held a big party on the White House lawn for signing the Inflation Reduction Act. Had a bunch of singers and dancers, and I guess it was a big festival type of thing. But it came at a really bad time because yesterday the CPI report came out and it wasn't looking good. So take a look at President Biden's speech right here.
Exactly 4 weeks ago today, I signed the Inflation Reduction Act into law, a single most important legislation passed in the Congress to combat inflation, and one of the most significant laws in our nation's history, in my view. I said it then, and I'll keep saying it. With this law, the American people won, and special interests lost. Say it again. The American people won, and special interests lost. Environmental activists, students, and young people, advocates for senior citizens and families. This is what it looks like when the American government works for the people. When we tell the powerful interests, no, you're not going to get your way. This time, not this year, not this time, not now. Let's be honest. Passing this law wasn't easy. I proposed as soon as I got here, basically. And I've said that day that I was determined to work with Republicans. And I've done that on historic laws like the infrastructure law. Republicans came across the aisle and they've worked with us. And we got it done. Over $1.2 billion to reshape this nation's infrastructure. The last guy had this job, well, let me put it this way. This bill finally delivers on a promise that I've made to the American people for decades. But Republicans choose not to join us. In the end, every single Republican voted against this historic law. So it fell to the Democrats to meet this moment and deliver for the American people. And that's exactly what we did. But folks, nobody ever in history, nobody this year, the American people won, the climate deniers lost, and the Inflation Reduction Act takes the most aggressive action to combat climate, as the speaker said, ever. Over $360 billion. All this progress was declared a failure before it was a success when we introduced it. We didn't give up, though. We kept at it. We had a vision, a plan, and we stuck to it. And the result is we're getting the job done for the American people, and we're just getting started.
What are your thoughts on that? Can President Biden be doing more for the American people besides the Inflation Reduction Act? And what do you think about the Inflation Reduction Act? Your comments, or a lot of the subscribers' comments that I've seen down in the comments below, haven't really been too positive about it, but let me know your thoughts about it. Next, let's get into some stimulus news here. Stimulus payments coming to these West Coast states in September. So, looks like Colorado, $750 and $1,500 for couples coming this month. Then Hawaii giving out, direct deposit started on Friday, September 9th. And looks like the mailed out checks are going to take a little longer. Could get up to $300 per person in Hawaii. And for anyone making more than $100,000, it's $100 per person. Then California, they're after the huge budget surplus. Looks like those $1,050 checks, or it's $350 going out to Californians. You get, $350 per person. A couple get $700, and then for a dependent, $1,050. And those are the West Coast states for California. Those three, and then looks like Elk Grove stimulus round 3, $200 gift cards in the mail to all households. So those $200 gift cards are going out to Elk Grove, Illinois. And then when it comes to inflation, grocery prices in August rose 13.5%, the highest increase since March 1979. Not looking good for food prices, and yet Congress not really doing much to help out the American people there. Let me know your thoughts. Take a look at this video clip giving a little more information about the inflation prices.
First, the big story here in the U.S., another disappointing report on inflation as prices unexpectedly rose in August and remain near a 40-year high. The Consumer Price Index for August was up 8.3% compared to 1 year ago as the cost of almost everything keeps going up. Wall Street reacted with a major sell-off, with the Dow and S&P 500 suffering their worst day since June of 2020. The tech-heavy NASDAQ dropped more than 5%. Well, we've got a lot of news to get to tonight, and CBS's Nancy Cordes will start us off from the White House. Good evening, Nancy.
Good evening, Nora. Today's report dashed hopes that inflation had officially peaked and was on its way down. Instead, the prices of nearly all goods actually crept up, and wages can't keep pace.
Government figures confirmed what most consumers already sense. Inflation isn't easing. Groceries up 13.5% since last year. Electricity up 15.8%. Car repairs up 9.1%. Rent up 6.7%. The bottom line, according to Moody's, the average household is spending $460 more a month to buy the same goods and services as last year.
Just a catastrophically high inflation rate.
That rate sent stocks tumbling today. The S&P sank by more than 4% as the markets braced for more interest rate hikes from the Federal Reserve in a bid to cool the economy.
The reason is clear. The Fed is much more concerned about prices right now than it is about the labor market.
Typically, lower gas prices bring down the cost of other goods. But so far, that hasn't happened, even though the average price of a gallon of gas fell 26 cents in the past month.
I will not make as much as I was hoping to.
Robin Fields runs a toffee company near Chicago. Ingredients are her biggest expense.
For example, butter and chocolate increased anywhere from 8 to 15%. And it doesn't look like it's going down any. It's just my butter just keeps going up.
And while President Biden celebrated the new Inflation Reduction Act today, many of the law's health and energy savings do not kick in until next year or beyond.
We're making progress. We're getting other prices down as well, but we have more to do.
A new U.S. Census survey revealed today that income inequality hit a new record last year. But there was one bright spot, Nora. It also found that childhood poverty was nearly cut in half last year, thanks to COVID-19 stimulus payments and an expanded child tax credit.
Nancy Cordes at the White House. Thanks very much.
So, should the U.S. government do more to help out the American people, especially when it comes to food? Help out with some type of financial aid to help struggling Americans eat more? Let me know your thoughts on that. That is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, it's Bella tip of the day. I want to tell you the one thing that you should do. Do the things that scare you the most, because after you do that, you become a better person. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of your support. If you like how I get straight to the point, share the resources and all the facts, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And we survived Tuesday yesterday. Really busy day, as I mentioned before. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day. If you want to check out any of my other videos on my other channel, like my latest pickleball video, you could click right up here. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.